Tonight, for the first time in SFL history, the Queen City Corsairs take on the Alaska Storm, and Ash Odom comes back to take on his former team in the eye of the storm. Alaska honors the Baltimore Crabs, who were rivals of the Queen City Corsairs tonight, with commemorative jerseys. Alaska 8-2, Queen City 6-4. SFL playoff positioning continues right now. Welcome to the Eye in Alaska. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine, alongside Stephen Mullenix, and we're happy to be here with you on SFL Fan Night on Twitch.tv. How you doing, Stephen?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. You know, these SFL fans, they have not let us down so far, and tonight we have a juggernaut of a game. I'm really looking forward to this, T-Breezy.
See, you already threw me out there. I was wondering who you were talking to. Coin toss next.
Ready for you. Let's do this.
You remember those old Baltimore Crab
Gentlemen, please
teams, right, Stephen?
We pick tails.
Yeah, you know what? I actually, I don't remember these particular uniforms, so maybe this is before my time, but I like them. They have a very kind of Notre Dame-ish look to them. I'm used to seeing the Crabs in red.
Blue and gold back in the day. Alaska's gonna kick to Queen City. The Corsairs are like, oh, not the Crabs again, but no, this is Alaska. And this is an 8-2 Storm team that's ready with the ball on the tee. Kick it, we're underway. From the goal line, and look at that monster hit to start us off on Fan Night as Simpson returns up only the 18-yard line.
Yeah, you know the adrenaline is high for that initial kickoff, and you just put everything that you have as far as if you're a special teamer, you're just you're screaming down the field and get a hit like that. What a way to open the game.
So Alaska in the dark blue and gold tonight with the traditional Storm logo on the helmet. Queen City's wearing their traditional black helmets, white jerseys, black pants. Ash Odom against his former team gets his first carry of the night, a pickup of 3.
And expect to see a lot of that from Queen City tonight. They are the number 2 rushing offense in the SFL, averaging a whopping 142.6 yards per game.
Mighty RX, otherwise known as Max Paul, owner of Alaska, and also the head coach, got his start here in Baltimore when they were wearing these colors back in season 4. Ash Odom, no gain. Big Sexy with the tackle, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Big Sexy, number 1 in sacks in the SFL. That's a common placement for him. He's recorded 18.5 so far this season. Also leads the league in tackles for loss with 29.
3 receivers for Queen City trying to avoid an early 3 and out. Back to pass, Caswell scrambles around the pocket, nearly threw an interception. That's a quick 3 and out for Queen City on the road. This is a tall task for them, as Queen City actually has a chance to clinch the 2nd spot in the Eastern Conference with an upset win tonight.
Well, I like what Alaska's defense did there. They were able to stuff the run on 2nd down, force Queen City to go to the air. This is a very balanced Queen City offense. They're successful on both the ground and through the air, but just not on that particular play.
Punting it away for Queen City is Matthews. Back to return the punt is Merrill from the 35-yard line. Robert Merrill up to the 48. That's where we'll see Ron Cochran. Before we get to him, I want to give a shout out to A.J. Caswell. It was announced earlier this week that he will be retiring at the end of the season. A.J. Caswell, 8,403 passing yards in the regular season to go along with 63 touchdowns all time. He is one of the best to wear the quarterback uniform, and also a champion too with Queen City, as Ron Cochran's first pass of the night is a completion, a pickup of 9 to the 43-yard line of Queen City.
Yeah, that's a tremendous loss to the league, and Caswell announcing his retirement, really a shocker for me. This is a team that's, in contention every season. It's almost like Tom Brady retiring in a sense, but Coswell more impactful than just under center, but as being part of that organization.
You've seen Clifton with that last catch, pickup of 9 yards, 2nd down and 1 at the 43. 2 receivers, 1 out either side. Handoff goes to Maximus. Check that. I think I'm thinking of the wrong team. Nordellis with the carry. I'm thinking of San Francisco from earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, maybe the colors are throwing you off for some reason. I don't know.
It's the 2 25s. They're both 25 and non-contract running backs. Got them flipped around.
No problem.
Ron Cochran with the 100 bits in a St. Patty's Day shout-out. Somebody needs to pinch Alaska. Handoff to Nordellis. Got a first down to the Queen City 36-yard line. So Alaska's off and running here in the first couple of minutes, trying to improve to 9-2 and clinch the #1 seed in the Western Conference, which they can do with a win tonight.
And they've embraced passing here in Alaska. They're #2 passing offense in the league, with a non-contract running back. But they can run the ball, and they can do so effectively regardless.
Cochran back to pass, and Cochran's going long. It's caught by Klein. It's a touchdown as Optimus Klein pushes his way into the end zone, and Alaska is up early.
Klein is just 2 catches away now from 100 receptions this season. He's #2 in the league. And would you believe this, Cam? That is only his 3rd receiving touchdown on the season.
Wow, crazy.
But he is a monster of a wide receiver. Anybody who's ever played against him knows what a headache it is to defend against that big guy. Although he hasn't gotten the end zone a lot, he's made a lot of big plays. And he's Alaska's #1 receiving target.
He earned that one as he dragged Phoenix Blue into the end zone and company. Extra point coming up for Brad Brechet, who's having a great rookie season here in Anchorage. The kick is good, and it's 7-0. The forecast tonight, 40 degrees, mostly cloudy, 2-mile-an-hour wind, so it's pretty calm out there, as Queen City will try again after the 3-and-out on their first possession.
Hey, Cheddar Biscuit, can we talk a little bit about Ron Cochran's feathery deep ball touch right there? I mean, he placed the ball in perfect position for Klein to go up and get it right over the outstretched hands of the defender. What a tremendous pass that was.
70 bits from Mighty RX. Thank you, Mighty, as Simpson again will not reach the 20. CRNX 94 in the chat saying Ron Cochran's having career highs in touchdowns, completion percentage, and attempts. I believe at #1 in the league in attempts, over 400.
Yeah, when your offense commits to throwing the ball, those numbers will certainly get inflated.
8:08 left in the first quarter. It's still early, but Alaska is one step closer to clinching a Western Conference title, since that can't be clinched in the playoffs, as Caswell's pass is caught to the 28, 29-yard line. Check that officially, as that pass is complete to Dags. Check that, Elgin Villanueva.
My apologies. And give that credit to the experienced passer under center. Was able to move just gently so in the pocket to give his receiver just a little bit more time to get open. Good play there by an experienced Coswell.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Hand off to Odom. Odom picks up 5 after the 34-yard line. And for all those, as action winds down in Week 11, for all those wondering about the Week 12 schedule, about Week 12 playoff scenarios, all that stuff, we're going to try to get that information out to you as soon as we can, immediately following Monday night's action between Tallahassee and Atlanta and Sioux Falls and Indy. 2nd and 5 at the 34-yard line. Back to pass. Caswell fires middle. Caught. No, it's still loose. And it's incomplete. Wow, that was rolling on top of Dags for a good while there, and Mike Dags couldn't come up with it. 3rd and 5.
Well, great timing by the defender to knock the ball out. Just a bang, bang play. Was able to time it so that it wasn't any type of pass interference, but enough contact to knock that ball out. Receiver had a chance at it, like you mentioned, just couldn't corral it in.
3rd down and 5 at the 34-yard line for Caswell as Queen City's offense trying to get something moving here. 7 in the box for Alaska. Caswell drops back to pass, fires to Curtis, one-handed catch. They mark him short of the 1st down, 4th and 1, and Eric Barkley can't believe it.
Well, there's the catch-22 of that outplay. If your receiver doesn't have enough room to make that turn, his momentum's going to take him out of bounds. 4th and 1 here, decision to be made. Likely a punt, I think, this far into their own territory.
Yeah, and it is a punt, and wow, the spot was pretty bad. I definitely did not think he was that far away from the 1st down line. So I guess no sense in challenging from Queen City. This is from the 28-yard line up to the 30 for Merrill, and I got to say the field crew has done a magnificent job. This field looks great out here tonight with the midfield logo.
Well, it's perfect football weather. You know, this is the kind of weather that you want to play some smash mouth football in, and just what a great auditorium and stadium here for football. I mean, goodness, it's wonderful to make the trek all the way up here.
1st and 10 at the 30 for Ron Cochran in the Storm. Back to pass. Cochran pump fake. Now fires a wobbler. Caught by Klein, who avoided the initial tackle from Cross. Klein's got 2 grabs for 57 yards, and so far Queen City has no answer.
Well, we talk about Klein. We're talking about a massive man who has a massive throwing window.
Oh.
This guy is a natural plucker. Watch him snatch the ball out of the air camp. He goes and gets it. He doesn't sit on his laurels at all.
Thought you were going to say something else. 1st and 10 at the Queen City 48-yard line. 6:22 to go in the 1st quarter. 3 receivers, 2 off the left side. Queen City with a nickel look, trying to get their first stop of the night. Cochran back to pass, 4-man rush, floats in middle, pass complete, Cross there on the stop along with his right-hand man, the linebacking duo of Cross and King. 2nd and 2 at the 39.
When we're talking about Ron Cochran, we're talking about underrated arm talent. This guy has a lively arm, and he can spin the rock.
5:53 to go in the 1st. 1st quarter moving with pace. 3 receivers for Cochran. Queen City can't afford to go down 2 scores here on the road. That's the toughest position to be in the SFL, as Nordellis just short of the 1st down. Avery King, former Skyhawk, and has been in Queen City for a while on the tackle.
Give a lot of credit to Alaska's coaching staff. They have found ways to use this non-contract running back, put him in positions to where he can have success. 30 inches here, I'd still look his way.
3rd down, inches at the Queen City 38-yard line. And off to Nordellis. Got it. 1st down. Cross with another tackle, but not enough push up front by that Queen City defensive line that includes Koa Kaleo at defensive tackle and Jeff Duffy at defensive end.
Well, if you're Queen City's defense, you have to be a little bit concerned at this point. We know that Alaska wants to throw the ball. That's how they're built. But if they can get their running game going as well, that's a 2-headed monster not a lot of people can defend against.
1st down and 10 at the Corsair 38. Cochran to throw. Cochran all day. Fires it out to Klein. Got it. 1st down to the 25-yard line. And Alaska right now is doing whatever they want.
Well, in Klein, again, we've talked about his monster size, his massive passing radius or catching radius.
Oh.
He can also run the full route tree. I mean, this guy will run every route, middle, deep, curl, out, everything, and run it with precision.
1st and 10 at the 25. Queen City a little desperate here on defense. They already look a little gassed. Trips left. Cochran back to pass. Fires it outside. Wide open. Clifton. 15-10. Yassine Clifton down to the 8-yard line. Cross on the tackle. Ron Cochran, a surgeon out there here in the 1st quarter.
And that's just a matter of a tight end beating a linebacker. That play is designed to give you 5 yards, but he's just the linebacker's not unable to keep up with the speed of the tight end, and he breaks out for 15 plus.
1st down, goal to go at the 8. Here on SFL Fan Night, Alaska trying to make it a 2-score lead. Storm handed off. Nordellis gets kind of caught up in the mix of things. Kaleo on the tackle, 2nd and goal at the 7.
If you're the Corsairs, obviously this is a bad position to be in. You're in Alaska. They're driving on you. It's 2nd and goal. But these are the kind of games that Queen City can win because they're a 4-time champion. This is what champions are made of right here, coming back.
Cochran back to pass. Cochran fires in zone off the back of cross. It's almost caught, nearly intercepted by King. Woo! At the end of the play, that was Hernandez that had a shot at it for Alaska. 3rd and goal as the bouncing ball finds Green.
Yeah, are we sure about the temperature? Because is this ball frozen? Because it's like ice out there. So many people had a chance at grabbing the pigskin there, and it just seems like everybody just had greased fingers and just couldn't grab it. Maybe it's a chunk of ice out there.
3rd and goal from the 7. You know what they say about brown ice, Steven. 3:19 to go in the first. Back to pass is Cochran over the middle. Didn't get it. Pass complete to Jeff Como, and it's going to be 4th and goal at the 1, and for the moment it looks like Queen City got a stop.
Yeah, if I'm Queen City, I'm thinking about maybe going for it here. They're not. They're going to take the points. Probably the reason they are one of the best teams in the SFL. In my team, not particularly, but a big win here for Queen City.
Chip shot 17 yards out for Brechet. Do that in his sleep. Kick is good, 10-0, first quarter, 2:43. Make sure to have the Score Stream app downloaded on your phone to receive SFL score updates all weekend long. Shout out to Firebird 586 for the 10 bits from Indy. Excited to watch and listen to this commentary. Thank you, bud.
Oh, wow, thank you.
I think he was talking to me, Steven.
I'm 99% sure he was.
It doesn't work when you agree with me. It doesn't work. Makes it very awkward. Return for Simpson. Again, will not get out past the 20. Well, one thing's for sure, Alaska's winning the field position battle here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they're putting the pressure on the Corsairs to throw the ball. I mean, this is the number 2, again, the number 2 rushing offense in the league. They want to run the ball. They want to control the clock. Tough to do so down, specifically 2 scores down. At some point, you're going to have to go to the air.
3 receivers for Caswell out of the gun. Ash Odom has done next to nothing against his old team in his old home. Caswell outside. Curtis was out of bounds. Dags 83, by the way, Steven, says, I'm only here to listen to Mullinex.
Oh, well, thank you, Dags. I knew there was a reason I liked you. They're unusual there for Curtis, just misplaying the ball. Last week, 6 receptions, 119 yards and a touchdown as their primary receiver. So just a little bit of a misstep. Really kind of represents what this offense has been so far through the first quarter.
2nd and 10 of the 19. Queen City has a golden opportunity to clinch a top 2 spot. But they got to get a win. Handoff to Odom. Odom 20, 25, 30. There goes Ash Odom, 35, 40. Takes a big shot from Tony Willis. But Ash Odom picks up 22 and is finally able to get out of there. And Queen City moves the chains.
Oh, well, this guy, look at this. Instant burst to rocket right past the edge of the line there. He runs with juice. He runs with courage. He's a power back that has elite speed. This guy's the whole package. One of the reasons Queen City was so giddy to get him from Alaska last season.
Chat shout-outs to Crash Combs, Jeff Duffy, Mr. Gutty, Free Safety, 21 Zane Doty, Iceman Gervin, C. Pundy, R. Cochran, Firebird 586, Alex B. 4210, Dags 83, and many others. No gain on Odom's recent carry. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tackle made by Gerald Thomas.
Well, this Storm defense has made it feast or famine for Odom so far. Again, just coming off a wonderful run, suddenly stopped for nothing, stonewalled. I think it's going to be this way for Odom all night, although he can chip away at this defense.
1:38 to go in the first quarter. Back to pass, Caswell fires outside. This time Curtis gets a foot in bounds. Picks up 5 yards, really looked more like 6, and it's 3rd down for Queen City.
You can really see how Odom is really the spark plug of this Corsairs offense. When he's running well, it seems to make everything else click. Now, Queen City's quarterback Caswell and his great group of receiving core can absolutely win the game on their own. But it just, when Odom's got it going, everything else clicks.
Packed house here at the I. Caswell's pass caught by Daggs. First down for the Storm, 48-yard line. First and 10 of the 48 for Caswell. He fires middle, and that is a bouncing ball that falls incomplete. Intended for Daggs.
Well, Queen City trying something a little bit different there. They're going for the pass on first down. I mean, this is obviously a run-heavy offense. You'll normally see them run on first and second downs just to try to get, especially early in the game, get Odom going. Here, knowing they're down 10, they're going to start taking some more risks, taking some more chances, try to get themselves back in control of this game.
Second and 10 of the 48, 45 seconds to go in the first. Hand off to Odom. Odom picks up 4. Third down and 6 coming up. That makes it a little bit more manageable for Caswell, and considering how dominant Alaska's offense has been in the first quarter, the fact it's only a 10-point game and Queen City's on the move is a positive.
Yeah, and this is the most consistency we've seen out of the Corsairs offense so far in this game, and they're doing exactly what they need to do to keep Alaska's offense off the field.
Third down and 6, 15 seconds to go in the first. 4 wide for Caswell. Caswell fires a floater, it's caught! Jumping and climbing up the ladder is Memphis Blue. That was an extreme vertical for the first down.
Yeah, well, first of all, trust by the quarterback to put the ball up in position for his wide receiver to go up and make a play, but certainly a dangerous pass between defenders.
That's the end of the first quarter. Queen City nothing, Alaska 10. Corsairs driving. This is SFL Fan Night, presented by APM Music on Twitch. Six carries, 34 yards for Odom against his old team. First and 10 at the Storm 31-yard line. Caswell to throw. Outside has Simpson. Simpson is crushed by Evan Carroll. Pickup of 8.
Well, this Corsairs offense finally woke up, and now we're seeing what we've seen from them all season. This kind of offensive push and pull between the running game and the passing game. I mean, they're one of the balanced, I think the most balanced offenses in the SFL, and they're showing you right now how they can kind of consistently put it together to create these long drives.
I'm having a problem with the 5 bits thing. He's getting a hold of this bits thing as Ash Odom gets rid of a Storm defender and picks up a first down to the 16-yard line in the red zone.
Well, I've called Odom, a runaway locomotive before. When that guy gets all that momentum behind him, he's not afraid to use that power. I mean, we're talking about he finishes like a hammer on a nail, Cam. This guy will square up on you if you're one-on-one with him.
First and 10 of the 16-yard line. There goes Odom, but he's not going to get away. Alaska all over it. I count at least 8 Storm defenders in there to make the stop, as that was Hernandez that ends up bringing him down. Second down.
And that's what it takes to bring a bruiser back like Odom down. You're going to have to throw more than one guy at him. The Storm nearly throws more than half their defense at him.
43 viewers and counting. Alaska got off to the hot start, but this is by far Queen City's best drive of the night. 4 wide receivers, 2 to either side. Caswell's going deep middle. Pass caught. Touchdown. Simpson out of the slot. It's 10-6, and Queen City's on the board.
Yeah, we talked about Caswell. He's that experienced quarterback you want in a sender here. Absolutely throws his receiver open right where he needs him to be. It is just a little bit maybe towards the waist, a little bit too much, but still a nice crisp pass. And you know what? It just felt really easy, Cam. It didn't seem to be too much defending that. Just good chemistry between the quarterback and the wide receiver.
So Queen City will kick the extra point. That was a really good drive considering their first 2 didn't go much anywhere, and Queen City doesn't let the game get out of hand. 9:39 to go in the second. Now a word from the SFL.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search through thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us. APM Music, production music library and custom music house.
Robert Merrill to the 32-yard line. Alaska has been stopped. If they've been stopped once.
Yeah, they're again. They've been pretty much able to do whatever they wanted to through the air, on the ground. It's just all been available to them. This Corsairs defense is going to have to step up.
4 wide receivers for Ron Cochran. Cochran back to throw, avoids a sack, avoids it again, and the pass is caught by Nordellis, and then he is ripped down by his face mask. There is no call. Doty was the one that brought him down. And that's a first down. Look at this.
Talk about mobility in the pocket to buy time for your receivers to get open. The very definition right there. Just climbs the pocket with ease. Never seems rattled. Always keeps his eyes downfield. Ron Cochran is on fire tonight.
Mr. Gutty 117 with 25 bits from San Francisco. Getting over our loss tonight, but enjoying this game quite a bit. Sharks, Legion, many teams at 4-7, still not out of it yet. And the scenarios for them will be quite insane, I'm sure, as we break those down later in the week. Merrill with a catch for 4 yards.
Yeah, I don't even want to start to think about all the different formulas and all the different things that you're going to. I mean, thank goodness we have a mathematician like that works for NASA, right? Because we need him to figure out these playoff scenarios.
2nd and 6 at the 49 for the Storm. Alaska continues their march down the field. Cochran's pass is caught again. Robert Merrill to the 37-yard line of Queen City. And they're not the prettiest of passes, but they're super accurate from Cochran.
Yeah, definitely a quack there on the pass. What a duck, but the duck was in perfect position to be caught. And, you know, there aren't very many veteran wide receivers that you can just trust in any situation the way that you can with Merrill.
Alaska 10, Queen City 7, 8:20 to go in the first half. 3 receivers, 2 far side right. Nordellis is to the left of Cochran, and Ron will drop the pass. Big number 3 completes it to Merrill. Merrill's got a first down, turns on the afterburners to the Queen City 25-yard line, and the Corsairs defense has got to be thinking, what do we got to do?
Well, I want to give a lot of credit to Alaska's offensive coordinator. I mean, this guy's making it easy for Cochran just to – he knew exactly who he was going to. He knew the guy would be open. These guys are scheming their guys open. It's doing a wonderful job of coaching tonight.
1st and 10 of the 25. Cochran to throw. Cochran throws a pick. He had a man wide open, bottom of the screen. He didn't see him. Back the other way to the 40-yard line. That pass is intercepted by Mick Weimer, and you got to look at this again here. It looked like Cochran just made the wrong read. Look at Clyde, wide open.
He was looking deep. I mean, again, if you focus too long on one player and you just keep your eyes on that player, the defense, they're just too smart here in the XFL. They're gonna watch the quarterback's eyes. They're so good at ball hawking the ball. They will come away with the interception and nearly a pick 6 there. If it wasn't for actually a really great play by the offensive lineman to tackle him.
I thought for sure Cochran was going out to Klein. I mean, that was a touchdown. Cochran just missed that. 1st and 10 at the 39, and Queen City started to build momentum. Handoff to Odom. Got away, and Ash Odom made something out of nothing, picked up 5 with 7.5 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, again, not going to Klein Cam might be a thought process by Cochran to get all of his wide receivers as involved as he can early on, just so that he can have everyone hot and ready in the second half. But yeah, really bad decision there.
2nd and 5 for Queen City. Hand off to Odom. Odom churns for a first down to midfield. And Alaska's just fine with feeding that man and making this game shorter.
Yeah, that's grown man strength right there, Cam. I mean, look, this guy has the power to push the pile, and he will impose his will on opposing defenses if you give him the chance.
First down at midfield, 6:42 to go in the first half. Alaska's up 3, handoff to Odom. Odom muscles his way. He makes 6 yards look easy.
Well, he bursts so quickly through that defensive line, and he just slices through it. And he's got deceptive speed for a guy that just his size and has so much power running associated with him. The guy will cut through and gain 5 yards on you before you even know it.
Second and 4, 45 viewers watching and counting. Here comes Odom, shifty, got the first down. Tobin on the tackle, the Alaska 40-yard line, but Odom showing a little quickness there from the feet.
Yeah, he's got the footwork of a European soccer star there, almost as if he's at the ball at his feet. Look, just totally jukes out what appeared to be the defensive end. No chance against a guy like Odom, who has the entire skill set.
First and 10 at the Storm 40. Man, Queen City on the road down 10. Really made good work of this second quarter here. Off the turnover, trying to get points off it. 5:42 to go in the second. Another handoff to Odom, this time on a trap. And Ash Odom is cut down by Alex Dominguez. That's the one guy that you don't want to run into on that line.
Well, so far in this drive, and you can correct me if I'm wrong there, C. Breezy, but I don't think they've had a single pass play. I think it's just been Odom, just getting his number called every play. 64
yards and a touchdown for Caswell, but he's been quiet. Second down and 8 at the 38 for the Corsairs. Back to pass, Queen City looking down the middle, right over the head of the defender, Chris Curtis. Snatches that one out of the air. Ramal Hernandez on the coverage. Look at this throw.
Well, we talked about Caswell retiring at the end of the season. You don't think he wants to go out with a bang? This guy wants to bring home another championship, surely, in his final season. You know, he's got the coaching staff and the talent around him to do it.
First and 10 at the Storm 24. Queen City wins. They clinch a top 6 spot in the playoffs. Alaska wins. They clinch the #1 seed in the Western Conference, or the #1 spot of the Western Conference, as Ash Odom picks up 4. Another tackle for Tony Willis.
And that's where, as a running back, your speed can hurt you. Absolutely had a massive tackle in front of him, just looking for a block. If he has a little bit more patience, Odom allows that offensive lineman to get the block in front of him. That could have gone for 6.
4:18 to go, second quarter. 2 receivers split out wide. Handoff, Odom again. And Ash Odom picks up 2. And I gotta imagine if they give it to him one more time, I don't think he's gonna have the juice to get 4 more yards here.
Well, he may. You know, you got to be looking to the sidelines at some point here. They're going to sub him out because his stamina can only go for so long.
Odom, I believe, still in the backfield. 3 receivers. What's Queen City going to do here at the end of this drive? They've had the ball for about 5 minutes now. Caswell's going to throw. 3-step drop. Caswell outside. Short of the... No, they said he was out of bounds. Simpson incomplete pass. Drive ends with that play.
Well, I haven't said it yet this game, but I'm going to say it again. You know, I'm not a fan of throwing in front of the sticks like that, putting the onus of getting a first down on a receiver whose momentum wants to take him out of bounds. You know, not the best play drawn up right there. Not the best execution either. They'll settle for a field goal try.
You've reached your quota.
Thank you.
It's 35-yard field goal for Queen City after the too short of a pass. The field goal is good. 3:37 to go in the second quarter. Queen City 10, Alaska 10. A word from the SFL.
Join the world's fastest growing sim football community by jumping onto our Discord server. Use the Discord command in chat to keep up with schedules, news, notes, announcements, and polls. Jump off the sidelines and into the action here where we're loading legends at the SFL.
So the Corsairs kick it away. Merrill from inside his 10-yard line will get out of the 28. So Ron Cochran back out there. Boy, he had done nothing wrong until he made a horrific read and threw a pick.
Yeah, it might just be a case of just trying to spread the ball out a little bit too much. For me, Optimus Klein has obviously shown an ability in this game to make every catch that you've thrown at him. Also scored a touchdown, only his third on the season. If you're going to zero in on somebody, Klein's the man.
3:33 to go in the second. Cochran back to throw. Fires it out to Klein. Picks up 5. Hard to believe this is the first time these two teams have ever met. As we said earlier, Max Paul's been on the Baltimore Crabs since season 4. Got his own team a few seasons ago and have just never run into those 4-time champs.
Yeah, when you mentioned that was just hard to believe that these two teams who have just been so successful here in the SFL have never met. I mean, this makes this game historic, and I hope we have a historic outcome.
3:16 to go in the first half. Back to pass, Cochran, wide open. Yassine Clifton. We're seeing a lot out of Clifton tonight, more so than usual, because nobody's covering him.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems that whatever the Corsairs are calling on defense, it calls to completely ignore the tight end, and it's just pitch and catch with Ron Cochran. Now, that being said, it is a 10-10 game, so his effectiveness, he's had a couple great, nice passes for good yardage, but it hasn't been a backbreaker yet.
Well, Queen City's following the San Antonio model. Just sit back there and wait for Cochran to make a mistake. It's proved pretty successful so far. Pass is incomplete. There's a flag. And I wonder if they're calling Dottie for pass interference.
I think they are. I think he might have got there just a millisecond too early. Now, sometimes when you're a smaller defender like that, you want to just try and get on top of this big, tall tight end as quick as you can, and that can cause the PI.
Yeah, it's on Doty, who's in the chat. So that's awkward. 1st and 10.
It's not awkward. Just release him. Just kidding. Obviously, just kidding.
If they would if it wasn't week 11.
Hey, back in the day, they would release guys to send a message.
1st and 10 at midfield. Back to pass, Cochran. Cochran's pass caught. I don't know how he squeezed that one through. Clifton again. 185 yards passing for Cochran in the first half.
Well, this guy, Cochran, he throws with anticipation and timing. He is naturally accurate. And right there, one of an absolute dot, a laser right there. Starting to become one of his more favorite targets here is this tight end.
1st down and 10 at the Queen City 35-yard line. 2:20 to go in the first half, approaching the 2-minute warning. Cochran empty backfield, fires it short again, wide open. That's exactly what Queen City's doing right now. They're giving them all the underneath routes. They just don't want to get beat deep by those that rough cornerback crew. We'll get Steven's thoughts on that in a moment. 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network, presented by APM Music on Twitch TV. You're watching SFL Fan Night, Week 11 style. We've seen Queen City get beat deep before, but they're given a lot of underneath routes tonight, hoping that Cochran won't try anything fancy. Nordellis with the carry, 1st down. The Corsair 23. Handoff, Nordellis again. Dragged down by Cross.
Yeah, they're going to this no-huddle offense, trying to get in here right at the edge of right in the red zone here.
2nd down, 7 at the 20. 1:33 to go in the first half. Back to pass. Cochran out to Nordellis. It's a fight for the sticks. It's not even going to be close. 3rd down and 3 at the 16. Queen City looking for another red zone stop.
Not sure if I agree with this. Why not take one of your 3 timeouts that you have and get together and get you a good play here on 3rd down?
Cochran, 3rd down and 3, says, I got a good play, and I got a good player. Touchdown, Optimus Klein, and Alaska's back in front with the robot.
Yeah, I will just shut up now. That was absolutely what they're trying to do. Obviously, is keep the Queen City Corsairs defense on their heels get a play like this. Klein's second touchdown of the game, only his 4th touchdown of the season, which still is mind-boggling. So he's tied his season total in this matchup so far.
In this first half.
Yeah. But Cam, on offense, Cochran, it's one thing that the defense gives you wide receivers that are open. It's another to make the play. And we're just seeing a quarterback here in complete command of his offense.
Extra point for Brechet, good, 17-10. Alaska on top of Queen City, and if you haven't already, download the ScoreStream app. Keep in touch with all the score updates from around the league. It's especially handy, and it will be especially handy next week when there could be even more than 4 games going on at once, as we find out all together who is in and who is out of the playoffs next week. It's going to be crazy.
And just to imagine, what your imaginary girlfriend's face is going to look like when your phone just keeps beeping over and over again. Like you've just got all these women on your DMs. It's going to be great.
I thought you were saying I had an imaginary girlfriend.
Oh, no. Your girlfriend is very real and very attractive, and I will steal her away if I can.
Wow. That was a little aggressive.
We're really great friends. I can be honest, right? Your girlfriend would have nothing to do with me.
I saw that picture you sent her. 1st and 10 at the 26. 1:07 to go in the second quarter for Queen City, down 7. Caswell back to pass. He's going for it all, and it's picked off. Picked off by Ryan Davidson. First time we've mentioned his name for the Queen City 41. What a mistake for number 16.
Yeah, and it could be a very costly mistake here. You've got this game, you've got back into this game if you're Queen City. And that's the one thing you don't want to do with almost just less than a minute left in the game, is to turn it over on this side of the field. Very dangerous. Allow Alaska to maybe even take a bigger lead into halftime.
Davidson's in the chat, saw his interception. Mighty RX with the 70 bits. Thank you, Mighty. Back to pass, Cochran. Cochran pump fake, now fires outside, and that is caught. Boy, Alaska making everything look easy. You've seen Clifton, another reception. He's going to have a career high in catches by the time the night's over. Cochran back to pass. All the time in the world. Caught again by Klein. Shoves a man to the ground to the 13 with still 43 seconds and 3 timeouts left.
And before it's over with, this could be a career night for Klein, who just seems red hot. We talk about certain players during certain games. It just feels like everything is clicking for them. That's Optimus Klein tonight. And, he's got a quarterback that's throwing lasers out there.
2 receivers. Klein's at the bottom of the screen. 43 seconds on the clock as Cochran changes the play. Cochran back to pass. Fires it outside. Wide open. 5. Down to the 2. Down to the 1. Timeout, Alaska. Catch made by Hernandez.
Yeah, and this defensive strategy by the Corsairs is it's burning them right now. They're just allowing anything short, but their defenders aren't coming up or either that or just not fast enough to cover enough ground to stop significant yardage from being gained. This is something that needs to be corrected at halftime.
1st and goal at the 1. SFL Today halftime report will break down the current playoff picture and what that will all entail for Week 12. 1st and goal at the 1 for Cochran. He fires it outside, and Nordellis has a touchdown. That's nearly indefensible on the goal line. Alaska's up 13 after this game was tied just a few minutes ago.
And you got to tip your hat at the play caller. What a great play to call in that particular situation. I was looking for maybe the running back down the middle because they've had success, surprisingly, against this Queen City Corsairs defensive line. But no, they opt to go for the pass. And like you said, that little swing pass to the running back or to defend.
Queen City was down 10-0. They came back and tied the game. Now they're down 23-10. Will they be able to come back and do it again? Brad Brechet trying to add the extra point. Good snap with hold. Brechet, perfect. 24-10. Alaska by 2 scores. Again, if the Storm win, they're the Western Conference regular season champions. If they lose, San Antonio still has a shot to get that Western Conference title. If Queen City wins, they are number 2 in the Eastern Conference and they clinch a first-round bye and advance to the quarterfinals. If they don't, it's Mexico City, Queen City, and Atlanta all still fighting for that number 2 spot in the East. From the 1. And actually, I stand corrected that you're looking at my tiebreaker scenarios. I'm going against myself here. Atlanta actually can get the number 2 seed still from Queen City if Queen City loses out and Atlanta wins out. They would have the tiebreaker. See, I'm already confusing myself, Stephen.
Yeah, somebody get Neil deGrasse Tyson on the line. We need to figure out these playoff scenarios.
3 receivers for Queen City. Yeah, I didn't even try this week. I'm just gonna have to wait till next week. Ash Odom takes the carry as Queen City appears to just be running out the clock.
Well, this game plays perfectly into Alaska's hands. Queen City is the type of team that is built to keep and maintain a lead. Being down 14, they're going to have to go away from their primary weapon, which is Odom, and look more to the passing game. They certainly can still do that, but their defense is going to have to stop this Alaskan offense.
Back to pass is caught, but the first half clock runs out. Mike Daggs with the catch. Monty RX with 70 bits. R. Cochran with 1 bit. TJ Cag SFL 500 bits. 100 bits from Ron Cochran just now as we hit the break. 24-10. Queen City needs to make some adjustments. Alaska's carving them up. We're at halftime of Fan Night here on Twitch TV. We'll take a look at the updated playoff picture after the 2K Sports halftime report concludes in a moment. SFL Today halftime report with Stephen Mullinex. I'm Cameron Irvine. All right, breakdown of the playoff picture as it stands right now. Tallahassee is still 10-0. They take on Atlanta tomorrow night. Sioux Falls and Alaska are both 8-2. They have an outside shot to overtake Tallahassee for that number 1 seed, but Tallahassee would have to lose out. Alaska, Sioux Falls needs to win out. Tulsa did not do themselves any favors today. They've fallen to 4th at 8-3 on a 3-game losing streak. San Antonio's number 5 at 7-4. Queen City's right behind them at 6-4. But Mexico City is on Queen City's heels at 6-5. Houston got a big win today over San Francisco, 35-28. They are 6-5. Houston and Mexico City are in the playoffs. The Houston Hyenas clinched a playoff spot today. They still have a shot at the number 2 seed in the West with a win and a San Antonio loss next week. Indianapolis and Atlanta, if both of those teams win, Vancouver, San Francisco, St. Louis, and OKC are all eliminated. So just because those teams won this week doesn't necessarily mean by the end of it that they're still going to be in. If either one of those teams loses, it gives those 4 squads that are on the outside looking in a shot. So again, Vancouver, San Francisco, St. Louis, OKC are all 4-7 and are still, as of right now, in the playoff picture. Carolina, Chicago, London, Dallas on the outside and eliminated. So, Steven, digesting all of that, those teams right underneath are going to be cheering for Tallahassee and Sioux Falls here over the next couple of nights.
Yeah, you know, and thinking about maybe some of the more shocking stats that you mentioned there, is the fact that Tulsa, arguably the hottest team in the league, is on a 3-game losing streak. I mean, just trending downwards. Could it be a little bit of gamemanship there? Maybe thinking, maybe they're already thinking about playoff coaching, and maybe they've gone a little lax here in the last 3 games. Don't know. Can't confirm that, but we've speculated on that in the past with teams like Queen City and things like that. Once they've got it tied up, maybe they're thinking, we won't show all of our best plays until we get there into the postseason. But no surprise about Tallahassee. Has to be the overall favorite. And we're seeing one team here that I think is going to garner a lot of people's votes in Alaska, and what they're doing so far against Queen City has been really impressive.
So I mentioned in the chat from GoonerBear94 that Vancouver and St. Louis are already out because they can't mathematically get their way in. That may be true, but we're going to wait to see how the dust settles in Week 11 because you got strength of schedule and all sorts of tiebreakers in there, and you never know the way that ball bounces. So we'll have to take a look at that as we head into Week 12, which we will do as soon as action concludes tomorrow night on the SFL Network on Twitch. A doubleheader: Indianapolis, Sioux Falls, and Atlanta, Tallahassee, after Atlanta and Tallahassee had to be postponed due to technical error from earlier today. So Alaska, Queen City's coming up. What do you expect out of this second half, Steven?
Well, I expect Queen City's going to have to go to the air and find success in the air. And defensively, Queen City's defense is going to have to figure out a way to stop Ron Cochran and Optimus Klein, whose connection has just been golden tonight.
All right, here we go. Back to Alaska. Coming up, 24-10, Storm League Corsairs of the half. This is SFL Fan Night. We'll be back in just a second. Start of the third, Queen City's kicking off. And Merrill from his 11 has a head full of steam, the 31.
I'm really starting to fall in love with these old Baltimore uniforms. They look good. They look good on the Storm. And here goes again, Ron Cochran under center. had so much command, so much poise there in the pocket. Just everything that you want to see from an SFL quarterback, he demonstrated in the first half.
All right, Ron Cochran up 2 touchdowns. He's going for it all to start the third quarter. Clifton to the Corsair 45-yard line. Not a good start.
Hey, and Clifton, besides Klein, has been, this quarterback's favorite target tonight. And what a big, massive target to have. Just huge hands. Just everything's big on this guy. I mean, he's able to go up to the ceiling and get it. And what confidence by this quarterback. Look, you're up 14. Maybe you think you're going to go conservative at this point. Maybe run some of this clock, even though it's just the start of the third. Nope, we're going over the top, baby.
Clifton having a banner night, 1st and 10 for the 45. Cochran moving around in the pocket, knocked away by Cross, and that's only the second bad throw Cochran's made all night. By the way, career highs for Clifton: receptions 5. I think he's beaten that already. Yards 105. Got to be getting there, and only 1 touchdown in 4 different games for Clifton.
Well, this is a quarterback who threw for 254 yards, 3 touchdowns and interception in the first half. So just plenty of passes to be had out there.
Cochran deep ball down the field, caught. Jeff Como, 302 passing yards today for Alaska. This is just a clinic.
Well, like one of my old colleagues used to say, ... I mean, he laid it perfectly for his wide receiver out there. The defender didn't even look back, was already lost, already falling behind. Wow, they're just putting on a clinic out there, this Alaska Storm passing offense.
1st and 10 at the 20. Nickel look for Queen City. They're getting carved up tonight. Cochran straight back, fires it out to Nordellis, and Nordellis got maybe a half a yard on the outside.
Yeah, that's a rare, questionable decision by the quarterback, but again, trying just a matter of his vision, seeing who's open and who isn't in that split second to make that decision. Tonight, he's been a quick processor from read to read.
Cochran under center again, 9:20 to go in the third. Hand off Nordellis, and King comes over and cleans his clock. No gain, 3rd and 9 coming up. Queen City just needs some sort of moral victory here.
Yeah, and this is a rare opportunity that we haven't seen much tonight. They can get a much-needed stop here. And here's a name we haven't mentioned tonight, Khalil, the defensive tackle there for Queen City. Had 3 sacks last week. Where has he been tonight?
Yeah, not much out of that Queen City defensive line. Cochran's been sitting back there sipping lemonade as that pass out of the 16-yard line by Merrill as he's shoved out of bounds. It is short of the first down, so at least Queen City doesn't give up another 6.
And that's the perils of not getting much yards there on 1st and 2nd down. You put your offense in an awkward 3rd down position, and if the best or the most wide open play is that short out, and you put the onus of gaining that 1st down on a wide receiver with a ton of defenders all around him.
33-yard field goal coming up for Brechet to put Alaska up 17 to be their largest lead of the night. Nearly blocked. Kick is right down Main Street, 33 yards away. 27-10. Alaska puts the clamps down a little bit tighter. A word from the SFL.
Follow the SFL on Twitter @SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
Third quarter, 8:27 to go. 27-10 Alaska, 1 yard deep in the end zone. I don't think Queen City started past the 20 tonight. They finally did, off a kickoff, that is. And A.J. Caswell is going to have to go to work, and you wonder how much Ash Odom is taken out of the game plan as we start the third with even a bigger deficit for the Corsairs.
Well, it's not exactly panic mode yet, but your hands are certainly shaking at this point. You're going to need to score. You're going to need to score pretty quickly, and that kind of tends to get away from the running game.
Split backs, Caswell to throw. 3-step drop, fires it outside, caught by Blue. Memphis Blue picks up 9 out to the 30.
And here's the thing. We haven't seen a lot of chunk plays from the Corsairs, Cam. We haven't seen them go over the top very, very much. And in contrast, Alaska, even despite their lead, is not afraid to go deep and make some of those deep passes. They need to just, loosen the leash a little bit here and let Coswell go deep.
2nd down and 1 from the 30. Hand off Odom. Odom got a couple of blocks. Odom with a stiff arm. And Ash Odom out to the 40. Another nice hit from Tony Willis in the open field. Odom up to 79 yards, moves the chains.
Yeah, Odom's one of those guys that we call a BYOB, Cam. That's be your own blocker. I mean, that's, if the guy doesn't block in front of you, you just take a guy out. I mean, absolutely, and an assassin with that shoulder. And he'll absolutely deliver a pop at the point of the attack, but he can only do so much. And down as much as you are here, you're going to have to win it through the air.
1st and 10 of the 40, 7:20 to go in the 3rd. Hand off to Odom, made a man miss, and then ran right into Ryan Davidson. Pick up with just 3, 2nd down, 7, clock rolling.
And I've called Odom, a stampeding rhino with a football jersey before. I mean, that's what this guy is. He's got the speed. He's got the foot quickness. He can make all the cuts and make all the moves, but he's known for being a powerful back. But again, when this defense throws everybody at him, got to go through the air.
How many things have you called Odom?
A lot of things behind his back.
3rd down and 6. Why don't you share just one of them? He's
No. He's one of those guys you don't want to meet in the back alley, so I have no interest in fearing for my life for the rest of tonight and throughout the rest of the SFL season, which is not that long.
Yeah, you talk about me right in front of my face. What does that say about me? 3rd and 6 at the 45 for Caswell. Back to pass of 4 wide. Caswell dumps it short to Daggs. And you already hit your quota, so you're going to have to figure out something else to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, isn't that just a microcosm of what this game has been for the Corsairs? I mean, they are just 2 yards short every time. You know what I mean? And they just need to figure out how to get a little bit more consistency. We saw, here, 4th down. Let's see if they go for it.
Yeah, let's see if they do. That would be a gutsy move down 17. Alaska showing a blitz. Doesn't look like Queen City's willing to take the risk tonight, and that's another difference in this game. We've seen Alaska take chances. We just really haven't seen Queen City take those chances, and because of that, the Corsairs are going to end up in that muck of 5 lost teams if they don't turn this around quick.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the thought process behind this. I mean, let's go ahead and pin them deep, but have we seen anything from this Corsairs defense to make us think they can stop the Storm's electric offense?
No.
Maybe that's there where you make a call, but boy, if you don't make that 4th down, you're giving Alaska's offense just such great position.
And the only mistake that Alaska's made all night was Cochran's mistake. Didn't even have anything to do with the Corsairs, because they blew a coverage on Klein. The 16-yard line, Merrill up to the 21, and back out comes Ron Cochran, who's put on a masterful performance here in prime time, and we'll see if Queen City has something left in the tank. It is fan night after all. Queen City's kind of letting us down here a little bit.
Yeah, I have faith in the fans, though, so, if any game's going to turn it around, I got to believe it's going to be this one. But and the Corsairs, 4-time champions, you just can't count them out.
1st down and 10 at the 21-yard line, halfway through the 3rd quarter. Cochran fires it out to the fullback, and Avery King comes over, messes him up. 2nd and 10 at the 21.
For how great Cochran has played, it does kind of play a little bit into Queen City's plans here, because he's shown no fear when it comes to passing the ball, even up as much as they are. So he's going to put it in places where maybe this defense can take advantage and get a turnover.
Ron Cochran with the 30 bits. I have a feeling that when Ron goes to the grocery store, he just puts a bag of pennies on the register, so he'll take that. 3rd down and 6 at the 25.
Hey,
what?
Don't do that.
What?
Man.
He's frugal. He's a guy that spends all of his money. I got a bunch of pennies. When I open my door, pennies fly out, and I've got too much to do.
punching a bit horse in the mouth.
No.
No. Hey, those pennies count up, man.
Hey, that's
Send them
probably the
bits.
number of completions that Cochran has tonight. Back to pass.
Wow.
Cochran deep ball down the field and knocked up and incomplete. Phoenix Blue in coverage. And that's probably the first jump ball I've seen Alaska not win, and it ends up being 4th down.
And that's what we were talking about. I mean, Cochran's feeling it tonight. He's got a green light from this coaching staff. He's gonna fling the ball all over the field. It's gonna give your secondary opportunities to get takeaways, and boy, do the Corsairs need them.
Ron Cochran with 100 bits just now, just to prove a point.
That's a year's
Ron.
worth.
Thank you so much.
A year's worth of bits just for you right there.
From the 36-yard line, Queen City's going to end up with probably some of their best field position. And with 4:42 to go in the third, still plenty of time for those 4-time champs.
Talking about bits, Cam, I got in a little bit of a bit war with Crash Combs and Ray West last weekend, and I'm still regretting it. I need those bits back.
1st and 10 at the 38. Hand off to Odom, picks up 6. How do you get in a bit war?
You want to be the guy on top. You want to be the guy with the most bits on the chat. I mean, you just kind of want to.
Well, TJ Cag SFL is up there right now.
Oh, you mean Mr. Moneybags? Yeah. I wonder how he got his bits. You watching a lot of advertisements there?
He's
TJ?
owning it.
Okay.
Second and 4.
Bust out the wallet.
2nd and 4 at the 44. Hand off to Odom. I'm willing to bet TJ watched on. That's all ads.
You want to go ahead? We could just go ahead and put a bet on that. I would take that all day.
Hey.
Although
it's
you know
third
what,
down.
He may have. You never know. He may have the time. I mean, I don't think he has Orbdad time, but I'm sure he has some time.
He just woke up from his slumber and heard his name. 3rd down and 3. 3:43 to go in the third for Queen City. Caswell fires over the middle, knocked away. What a play just at the last second as Alaska's defense gets off the field. That was Chris Mack.
Yeah, I don't know. You can tell me this. Is that normally a 99 designation? That's a defensive line player. If that is true, if that defensive lineman dropped back and covered, what a play. But even if it's not a great play just by the defender there to cause a 4th and 3, and golly, the Corsairs just can't buy a 1st down right now.
It's an outside linebacker. Apologize to Mike Daggs that you don't have this complete roster in front of you right now. Just go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
It's something we need to take up with the league office when we're giving these numbers out, and they're not specific to positions. You know what I mean? That's been a long complaint of mine. Whatever. Go ahead and make your wide receiver number 1. Who cares?
Hey, that's why you get into bit wars. Because of that attitude right there.
That's right.
1st and 10 at the 20. 27-10 Alaska. Resetting things here a bit on SFL Fan Night. 3:32 to go in the third. Hand off to Nordellis. And Cross clips him from behind. Mexico City. 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line. Sorry. I really didn't even mean to say that. And then I thought, well, I can't let that go.
Don't you put that bad mojo on this game. We don't need any more interference from the Stripes. We have complained far too much about them. I am dedicating the rest of the season. We're not going to say anything about these Stripes.
We've had a pretty good crew tonight.
So far tonight. Well, and Alaska really hasn't let it get close enough here to let them have an effect, which is exactly one of the arguments against something like that would happen last week. It's just putting your team in a position where the refs can affect whether you win or lose.
Nordellis picks up 5. Phoenix Blue on that last tackle. That's a big 5 yards. Brings up 3rd down and short for the Storm. We've seen the Storm kind of go a little passive here. I haven't seen them take too many deep shots lately. Nordellis going to get another carry. What a hit in the backfield. That was Avery King with his 10th solo tackle of the night, throwing back Nordellis and forcing a punt from Alaska.
Well, like you said, Alaska's getting a little bit more conservative. Something maybe I expected a little bit earlier, but I think they're just starting to realize that the clock is more important to the score to them. Even though we're still late in the third quarter, their defense is just playing so well against the Queen City, offense that ranks third in scoring offense in the SFL. They've held them to 10 points when Corsairs usually, they average 27.10 a game.
Yeah, Queen City's defense has played better here in the third. They've given up just 3 points, but you're right. These two teams are two of the top 3 scoring offenses in the league, and one team is scoring and one team isn't tonight.
And give a lot of credit to Alaska's defense. For as much as Odom has been able to get a couple of big runs, he hasn't really been able to affect the game enough in the scoreboard. So give them a lot of credit.
Caswell all day, deep ball, cut! Oh, Diggs made 2 people miss! 10-5 touchdown! Out of nowhere, Queen City down 11. What a play!
Well, it would figure to be a tight end. That would, we've seen some great plays by the tight end in this game. Finally, someone for the Corsairs other than Odom makes a big play and could change the total outlook of this game here late in the third quarter. Think about this. Alaska went conservative the last series. Now they might be paying for it.
Ryan Davidson tried to get a helmet to the football, took a big risk out there, whiffed on the tackle, and Mike Daggs was off to the races. And now Queen City's back in business here, down just 10. And we already saw him one time tonight score 10 consecutive points in a quarter.
And talk about what great concentration by Daggs. I mean, I can't even think of what it takes focus-wise to bring that ball in with 2 defenders flying in your face like that, and to have the awareness to 360 or 180 spin to the end zone. Just a nice play, nice individual play there by Daggs.
Third touchdown of the season for Mike Daggs, who had 29 receptions and 328 yards coming in. 27-17, 144 to go in the third quarter. From the 11-yard line, Robert Merrill, 30. Hey, on ScoreStream, Alaska has 103 cheers and Queen City has 102 cheers. The cheers are just a fun little game, but people take it seriously.
It's not a bit war, thank goodness. It's just cheers, and you can cheer as much as you want. I found out when I went in there and messed around with it.
Jeff Duffy with 500 bits. Thank you, Jeff. Bader Ajlani with 1 bit. Thank you so much. As Clifton makes the catch, the 47-yard line. Cochran's got 326 yards, and Yassine Clifton's career night. I mean, he's crushing career highs tonight.
Well, this might be known as the night of the tight ends. I mean, we've seen some spectacular plays on both sides, but Clifton, surely this has to be, at least from what I've seen of him, a career game from him, and they are using him expertly.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line. Queen City got the stop they needed on the last drive, and the touchdown that followed. They're going to need some more. Winding down in the third quarter, Cochran against a 4-man rush. Cochran's going to be sacked. From the left side, Jeff Duffy, who's in the chat tonight, making a play.
Well, you just feel like Cochran saw something and then had to pull the ball back. Obviously something there on the defense, something coverage that he saw, maybe a wide receiver, glimpsed open for a second, but then he just had to bring the ball back in and take the sack.
Second down, 16 to the 41. After the sack from Duffy, Cochran deep ball down the field, tipped and intercepted. 40-45 midfield. This has pick 6 potential. Gets a block. 20, 10. It's a touchdown. Touchdown. What a block at the end of the play. That is Nacho Sicario with the pick 6. The first time we've called his name all night, and it's a ball game.
Well, back-to-back interceptions for Sicario, who had an interception last week over London. But you have to go back to the play before, Cam, where Cochran was sacked and maybe rattled a little bit and then underthrew this ball. We haven't seen him do that much tonight. He's been right on pace, really great accuracy all night. Underthrew that ball, allowed it to be tipped up in the air, and man, what a run back and just a bunch of lead blockers there. You know, the defense gets excited when they get an opportunity to score a touchdown. Wow, Queen City suddenly back in this game.
That's at least 5 pick sixes this week if you're counting Franagawa's 100-yard beauty from Saturday night. There were 3 alone in the Houston-San Francisco game. 3 of the 9 touchdowns there were pick sixes. And now Sicario joins that list, 27-24. Defenses are balling this week. 34 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Alaska's got to be scratching their head going, what? I thought we were fine.
Well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and their sword, as far as Alaska's concerned, has been conquering. Terrific in that first half. Now we're showing some of these mistakes, and his mistakes are allowing the Corsairs to get back in.
Great look by Donger922 on Maurice Johnson. He was the one that tipped the ball and then picked up the crucial block on Cochran that led to the pick six. Football dude with 6 bits donated. Thanks, Colin. 30 seconds to go in the third, and all of a sudden, we got a game again. As Alaska is trying to win the West. Cochran a little bit sloppy in the pocket, but finds Klein eventually for a first down.
Yeah, Cochran's, you're starting to see him get those happy feet, you know, and he's starting to get a little bit uncomfortable, but he does have a great security blanket in number 88 over there, who's been balling out tonight. We haven't heard his name much here in the second half, but if he gets frantic there in the pocket, Cochran does, I'm going to Optimus.
4 receivers, 2 to either side for Queen City, who's trying to really look solid for the number 2 spot, unless Atlanta can pull the upset tomorrow night against the almighty undefeated Tallahassee Pride, as Nordellis picks up 7. That ends the third quarter, and just like that, we've got a ball game again. This is SFL Fan Night on Twitch TV, presented by APM Music, and the fans have done it again.
Yes, they have.
Although you couldn't go wrong this week. This is the 7th game of the week, and 6 of them have been one-score games.
Well, I watched your game prior to this with Oklahoma City, so yeah, it could.
Cochran, pass caught by Clifton. And actually, I forgot that OKC won by a couple scores. Clifton again, the Queen City 26-yard line, and Alaska's back on the horse.
Oh, man, this guy here is just having the game of his life, and Cochran is putting it right where it needs to be. But again, this guy's wide open here. I mean, you try to put an undersized safety on top of this big, tall, lanky guy. It's just a huge passing window and reception window for him. At pitch and catch, it's been that way all night. It's almost as if Queen City's just waiting for Cochran to make a mistake.
3 receivers, Cochran looking around, sidearm throw, and a monster hit by Cross, as the timing of that play was all sorts of wonky, as Klein was the intended receiver. Klein's been quiet here in the second half.
He has, but when you're getting hit by a guy like that, Cross is a perfect name for that guy, because that's exactly what he's doing to the receiver's eyes. He's crossing them after a hit like that. Boy, Optimus Klein, it's a big receiver to take that massive of a hit. He doesn't do that a lot. He's usually doing that to smaller defenders. 2nd
and 10 of the 26. Queen City brings some pressure. Pass is nearly picked off. King had a chance after Weimer knocked it away. 3rd and 10. And we've seen the difference in the second half is that Queen City's collapsing the pocket. And that's causing things to not be as easy.
Well, when Cochran gets rattled, he has a tendency to rush his throws sometimes, and we've seen this in this game. See, Breezy, he refuses to make the easy throws. Maybe a little bit too much hero ball out there, thinking that he can squeeze the ball into tight windows.
Cochran, 22 touchdowns, 15 picks coming into the night. 3rd and 10 at the Queen City 26. Back to pass, Cochran. Deep ball down the middle. It's picked. He picked it off. Phoenix Blue at the 5. He took it away. I could have sworn that Cochran had it first, as we get a look at the replay.
What an individual play by the safety here, just reading the quarterback's eyes, gets to the ball before the receiver has a chance. Optimus Klein reaching out, trying to make the one-handed catch, maybe getting a little bit too cute. And the defender just sneaks in to get the ball. What individual effort, and all the momentum right now is with Queen City.
They've been all over Optimus Klein. 10-13 to go in the fourth. Still tons of time here. 1st and 10 for the 6. Here comes Odom. Odom breaks the tackle, 15. And Odom out of the 21-yard line, picks up 15 yards, and is up to a $1.05.
Look, halftime adjustments are a real thing, Cam, and they've obviously, Queen City has done some things differently here, especially on defense, defending this Alaska Storm. They just look like a totally different secondary, very aggressive, making these key plays when they need to, and intercepting the ball. It's just been a total turnaround of momentum tonight.
27-24. Another first down for Queen City. Caswell going long, and it's picked off. Wow, what a bonehead throw as Tony Willis picks it up. He threw it into quadruple coverage.
Yeah, I don't know what he was seeing there, but Willis is so dangerous.
Look at that.
We haven't called his name much tonight, but yeah, triple coverage. That pass is one that should have never been thrown. I'm sure Caswell's just kicking himself over there on the sideline.
That was worse than Cochran's bad read. I mean, they were everywhere. 1st and 10 at the 40. Alaska catches a huge break. Cochran 3-step drop, fires, slant, caught in between Fordham and Corsairs. Clifton again picks up 8 yards, showing out in fan night.
Yeah, if that was just a millisecond later on that throw, that might have been another pick or at least a tip. Defense really swarmed all of them. I'm just really impressed by this Queen City Corsairs defense right now. They are aggressive. They are all over the field. Let's see if Alaska can weather their storm.
9:15 to go in the fourth. Cochran open and missed. Merrill to the 14-yard line. Cochran's thrown 3 picks, but his team is still ahead. 1st and 10 at the Queen City 14 in the red zone.
Well, this is something that we've seen from Cochran all night. Pinpoint accuracy, putting it only in a place where his receiver can make a play on the ball. I mean, he has made a handful of mistakes tonight, but for the most part, Cochran has been in total command of this offense and doing pretty much whatever he wants.
Queen City trying to erase a 27-10 deficit. They're almost there, but they're running out of life here as Optimus Klein gets a first down, nearly scored, as Queen City does a terrible job cutting off the corner. 1st and goal from the 3.
Might be a generous call there by the refs. I don't know if he stepped out of bounds or not. Apparently they're not going to challenge this here, but that's the same play, or at least one of the same plays that he scored on earlier, giving that guy a head of steam going towards the end zone. It's been super dangerous tonight.
And Alaska's pretty good inside the 5-yard line here. Nickel look, back to pass. Cochran back in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown Optimus Klein. He's got more in this game than he's had all year.
3 touchdowns already tonight. If this one sticks, did he get his feet down would be the question I would be asking if I was on the Corsair sideline. We're going to get an opportunity to see this here. Did he get his tippy toes into the paint?
Ooh,
looks like he looks like he did. They're going to give it to him.
I think he dragged it. Dragged the feet in the back of the end zone, no challenge. I think that's a good call. It's pretty close.
And somebody put Caswell on suicide watch because that's directly on him. So, he's got to be one of those guys that has amnesia, totally forgets about what just happened the series before, and plays lights out to get his and make up to get his team back into this one.
34-24. Alaska and Queen City here on SFL Fan Night.
And the fans have picked another good one. So they never let us down. They never let us down.
.23 to go in the fourth from the 2-yard line. Simpson on the return. Simpson gets a couple of blocks and then runs into a wall. 8:18 left in the fourth. Queen City's been here before. Been down by 10 3 times tonight.
But they just, and my memory serves me correct, which it often doesn't because I'm an old man, but Queen City has yet to lead in this game. So, they seem to climb their way back in, but then Alaska just does something, or Queen City, in the last case, did something to let them take the massive lead again.
Caswell to Curtis, and Curtis to the Alaska 40-yard line as he rolls over. His fourth catch of the night. Curtis has been quiet, and Queen City is back in Alaska territory. We're in for a shootout, perhaps.
Well, we saw in the first half that Queen City's coaching staff really limited Caswell and wanted him to do more of a short passing game on this Alaskan Storm defense. Now they have given him the green light clearly, and he's looking deep downfield. There, the nice feathery touch for the completion.
1st and 10 at the 40 for Queen City. Still plenty of time. Down 2 scores, 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Caswell back to pass. Caswell fires it outside. Caught by, who is that new guy? Villanueva.
Taking what the Storm's defense is giving them. The Storm defense obviously is playing back. They want to maintain the lead. They'll give them anything short. One of the reasons why they were able to come away with the interception in the last series was because they had so many people playing back. So they are looking for Caswell to air it out. Now it's a matter of him being on the same page with his wide receiver.
Caswell down the field. Curtis caught it. Caught it. Sliding out of bounds to the Storm 16-yard line. And I thought to myself when he threw it, where are you going with that? That's why he's quarterback.
Well, Curtis, if you give him the opportunity, he can be a human highlight reel for this team, making these spectacular catch there, one-handed. And they're going to challenge it.
I don't think he's going to win this.
I don't either.
I think this is a terrible challenge. He got the 1 foot in, no problem on the sideline. That's what you need.
Well, I can understand, first of all, not very good ball placement. Obviously, throwing it to a place away from the defenders, but your wide receiver is going to have to make a spectacular play, pulling the ball in from behind him. But, yeah, the 1 foot, I do believe, is down.
I'd be stunned if they overturn this.
The pass has been ruled incomplete.
Oh, they do.
No way. That's awful. Well, I guess I jinxed it. That's terrible. How many times have we seen 1 foot on the sideline as a catch?
If they call a clipping penalty against the Corsairs, I'm quitting. I'm just going to leave the stream. I'm done. We can't have this 2 weeks in a row.
34-24. Now it's 3rd and 4, and they're probably outside of field goal range with a generic kicker. They're going to run it to Odom to try to get into field goal range. He's got more. 25-20. Ash Odom 15. 10. Ash Odom all the way down to the 6-yard line, and it worked out for Queen City.
Yeah, how many times on 3rd and medium do you give it to a running back and really honestly think that he's going to be able to make the first down? It's a little bit of a rarity, but when you've got a guy with the juice and the courage and the speed and the rockets to get around the corner, that's exactly what you've got in Odom. We thought that they go away from Odom, go through the air a little bit more. But, man, what a time to call out the big gun and for him to come through.
1st and goal at the 6. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Queen City continues to apply the pressure to the Storm. 7 in the box. Handoff, Odom running left. Odom 5. Odom got a block. Touchdown. Queen City, they're only down by 4 as what could end up being a classic rolls on here on Fan Night.
And that was not about speed. That was not about power. That was not about agility. That was about patience. Odom, with the patience to make his read, allow his blocker to make the key block in front of him, goes in untouched. Can't buy experience, Cam.
34-30. And this is the type of game that we expected out of these two squads, with the two of the 3 top scoring offense in the league outside of Tallahassee. And the extra point for Queen City is good, and the ball game continues to impress. 34-31. Now a word from the SFL.
Don't miss the SFL podcast every Saturday night at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern on Twitch before the league's weekend slate gets kicked off. Join me, Mighty RX, defending champion team owner Ramos Lynn, and our host, Jack Brown, to break down all the headlines in the SFL. Jack, yeah, I know we gotta move on. Calm down. See you there, everybody.
Merrill to the 28, 6:46 left, and that pressure continues to boil for Alaska as they're trying to wrap up the West tonight.
Here's my question on this drive, C. Breezy. Is Alaska Storm's offense, are they going to be shell-shocked a little bit by what's happened here? Had such a big lead throughout this entire game, and now it's potentially a one-score loss possible. You know, how are they going to play?
Like that, Cochran to Klein breaks a tackle to the Queen City 40-yard line, and Klein has 10 for 158 and 3 touchdowns.
Honestly, I should stop talking. I mean, they have just defied, every time I've said something, they've defied it. But man, you can't, I can't overhype this connection between Klein and Cochran. It's been wonderful tonight. It's been wonderful all season. But he's just having a career game tonight. It's not surprising.
Cochran to throw outside, complete to Merrill. Queen City's like, stop talking. 2nd and 6.
Well, and they should be less worried about me about Alaska, because at times tonight, specifically in that first half, Cochran has just dissected them like a surgeon.
6 minutes to go in the fourth. Alaska has maintained the lead the whole way. Queen City has not gone away. Out to Nordellis, had to come back for it a little bit. Picks up 3. Doty makes the stop on the outside. 3rd and 3 from the 33 coming up. Pivotal play here.
And that's nice patience by Cochran there. He has a tendency, we've seen in this game, to press a little bit and not just go for the open man there. It's not much yardage, but it makes it a very convertible 3 yards.
Out of the eye for Cochran. 3-step drop. Cochran fires a slant. He dropped it. And that was a big hit that Hernandez took at the end of that play. I mean, it was like to the helmet. And he got gator arms, man. He just let that one go.
That's the danger of the non-contract. We've seen that before. But, it's in the situation that you're in, you got to understand, you got to make that catch. Just a disappointing outcome there, but could make this more than a field goal game here.
49-yard field goal for Brechet, well within his range, nearly blocked. Kick is good. And Alaska's up 6.
And that is a clutch kick right there. I mean, just in the situation, I understand that you're at home. Not always the best atmosphere there in Alaska to kick in, but certainly they have one of the better ones in the league there.
Well, 5:19, Queen City's probably can get a couple of shots at winning this game if they're smart. Or
I expect a balance again, a pass and run, and just depends on how much they go to Odom and how much that clock runs down.
From the 1, Simpson changes hands and gets up only to the 21-yard line. Hate seeing players change hands so close to taking a hit. 5:15 left. It's up to A.J. Caswell, who's making one last charge at this, trying to win another title this year. Queen City has been pretty good all year. We have not seen any sort of crazy surge out of the Corsairs. They've just been steady as they come all season long. Quality program. 5:15 left in the fourth. They start the drive with a handoff to Odom. Odom breaks a tackle, pushes ahead for 9.
Well, there's that locomotive again. I mean, that guy has not slowed down all night. You can only hope to contain him, not stop him. And Alaska, for the most part, has done a pretty good job tonight of containing him, but he's gotten loose a couple of times. He might try to get loose again here.
He definitely has something to prove to his former team and boss. Handoff Odom, first down, breaks another tackle, and then have a seat. Young fella Ryan Tobin knocks him on his butt.
Yeah, Odom's just looking like he just wants to hit someone.
Yeah.
And
He's
he'll
talking
just
a
get
lot
out
of smack out
he
there.
is targeting his old teammates here and bringing the wood.
First and 10 at the 35, and Caswell can't hand the ball off, and he's going to be sacked. They were all over him. Alex Dominguez. Now, I don't know if they're going to credit Caswell with a run there, but either way, Dominguez eats him alive. 2nd and 12.
Yeah, they should. I mean, wow, you talk about disrupting plays. That totally blew up the plans that Queen City had running the ball. Boy, the defender was in the backfield in a flash.
2nd and 12, Max Jackson with 300 bits. He's now at the top of the weekly leaderboard. Thanks, Max. 2nd down and 12 at the 33. Back to pass. Caswell steps up in the pocket, and he got rocked. Rocked by Big Sexy again. 3rd down and 17. 3:38 to go. Caswell's got to hurry. Caswell back to pass. He's going long, deep down the middle of the field. That pass is tipped in the air and intercepted. Intercepted by Alaska. They overwhelmed Caswell on the drive, and Queen City's in trouble.
Yeah, I was about to say there, Cam, when they're trying to get that playoff, I am not a fan of them not taking a timeout, not running that no huddle right there. Your quarterback's been sacked twice, and you're going to throw him right back under center and try to convert a 3rd and 17. Just so many negatives added up there, and worst possible outcome. Just not a good job by this normally elite coaching staff.
Now Queen City needs a stop, and they need it fast. Hand off Nordellis. That's a start. Loss of 2 in the backfield. Tackle made by Tad Myers. Clock rolling.
And Alaska may be willing to give that in exchange for getting this clock under 2 minutes. I mean, they may be willing to just go ahead and run the ball every time. I don't know. From what I've seen of this team, though, they like to vomit in situations where I think they should run. So we'll see.
2nd and 12 at the 41 for Cochran. He's milking clock down to 13 on the play clock. 51 viewers and counting. 10 seconds. Snaps it to Nordellis. Nordellis takes a handoff. Wrestled down by King and company. 3rd down and 9. They'll get one more playoff, but Alaska's still outside of field goal range.
I've got to hope that Alaska goes to the air here. I want to see them get into field goal range. They're knocking on the door. Maybe 7-8 yards here would get them in a nice, comfortable position. But I don't know. They may be locked into the run, but I sure would like to see them get a little bit closer to get themselves a field goal.
Split back, 3rd down and 9 for the 39-yard line. Nickel look for Cochran. Let's see what he does. I'd trust Cochran, too. I agree with you, Steven. Now they're going to hand it off. Nordellis, and he gets popped by King, and that's the end of the drive. Queen City gets a stop, and Caswell's going to get one more shot at it on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Wow.
Hi, this is Mighty RX, also known as Max Paul, owner of the Alaska Storm, and you're watching SFL Network on Twitch.
Fourth and 8. Alaska to punt. This is where playoff teams and champions are made of, Steven. These moments like this.
And if you don't think your special teams unit means anything, they absolutely do here. Alaska needs to try and pin them down if they can.
They can't. Fair catch called for the 13-yard line on a short punt. That's not what the Storm needed.
No, but it's
only
not
25 yards.
Yeah, it was just a bad position for them to be in. Again, choosing to run instead of passing there on 3rd down could really cost them.
And how about Queen City against this Alaska defense that only gives up 20 points a game? They put up 31 here tonight. They need 87 yards and an extra point for a giant upset victory here in Alaska. Caswell 3-step drop, fires it outside Curtis, and that's a solid start to the 2-minute offense. Picks up 8. They said he did not get out of bounds, so the clock's going to keep moving. I thought he rolled. It was rolled out of bounds there. Trips off the right side. Caswell going to fire a quick slant. Oh, what a shot! Memphis Blue, are you okay?
No, does that guy have Medicare? He might need it. Yeah, that was a heck of a hit. These defenders, they get frustrated, and they will take it out on these offensive players given the opportunity. That's a possible career killer there. That kind of a hit to the back of the neck Boy, just lucky to see him get up from that.
That was I.B. Lurkin.
He is. He Lurkin.
He gets up and says to Memphis, hey, your marbles fell out. 3rd down and 2 at the 21-yard line. 4 wide for Caswell with 2 timeouts. Caswell to pass, needs to get rid of it. Caswell down the middle, caught! Past the 40 to the 43-yard line, timeout. Queen City, they have 1 left.
The outstretched arms by Villanueva there. What a nice effort by the non-contract in a clutch situation. Again, the quarterback throwing it to a point where the receiver can make a play on it. Boy, this is one of the reasons why Queen City is the 4-time defending champion.
Queen City can clinch the number 2 spot in the East with a win and an Atlanta loss. Tomorrow night against Tallahassee, Alaska can clinch the West with a win. Caswell's pass caught by Blue inside the 45 of the Alaska 43. 1:25 to go. Queen City's moving the ball. Mighty fine. 4 wide. 5 in the box for Alaska. Caswell back to pass again. Caswell dumps it short to Daggs. And Daggs drags defenders for a 9-yard gain.
And the Storm seem satisfied giving them these short little passes, but they're inch by inch, they're killing them.
Caswell with an empty set again with 1 minute to go. Queen City draws him offside. And Caswell's going to be sacked, but it's going to result in the 1st down. How about the veteran move from Caswell to slow things down? And Thomas got happy feet.
Not only is it going to result in a 1st down, but it stops the clock, Cam, allows that offense and their coaching staff to come back together, get a couple plays called. Some of the ones that have been more successful even in this particular drive. It just resets everything for Queen City, something you don't want if you're Alaska.
What a mistake by Thomas. Jeremy Vega, 1,400 bits, now moves up the leaderboard. It was TJ, then Max, now Jeremy. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. 58 seconds to go in the 4th for Caswell, trying to win a monster game from east to west, from Buffalo to Anchorage, as Caswell flips it outside, caught by Curtis. And you know, we haven't really mentioned it a lot tonight, but maybe that 1st quarter was just a little bit of jet lag, and Queen City's been paying for it ever since.
Yeah, it's a long trek up here to Alaska. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I had to take a dog sled from the airport. So, you know, it's not exactly 21st century up there.
2nd and 7 at the 26. Caswell's in the shotgun with split backs. Nickel look for Alaska. Back to pass. AJ's in trouble and goes down. 3rd down and 13. Timeout Queen City. It's their last one. Thomas gets revenge for the offside.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking, Cam. This guy's making up. You know, when you make a mistake like that, you're going to give everything you can to make up for it. What a time to come away with a sack, maybe rattle this quarterback a little bit, maybe make him second guess before launching the ball out of the pocket. It could have ramifications here just beyond that play.
This is the ball game. 2-down territory for Queen City, 32 yards away from tying the game. 3 wide receivers, 2 backs in the backfield for Caswell. Ball in the middle of the field, back to pass. Caswell, and as he throw, it's 4th down. Thomas again.
Woo! We've seen these defensive linemen, they can catch fire, and they see something in their opponent in the offensive line, whether it's a tell or that guy's just tired or maybe he has an injury somewhere, and they seem to take advantage of it for a series. What a series for him to come alive on.
4th down and 13. What's the magic play in the bag of Eric Barkley? They need the 18.5-yard line for a 1st down. Gonna turn the corner. He's not gonna do it. That's the ball game. Alaska's gonna win the West.
Wow, just, you know, not the play call that you obviously, not the guy that you wanted to go to. Hoping that Blue can maybe make something happen with 2 defenders barreling down on him. A fatal flaw in that play call, especially just that far away from the 1st down marker and with the time running out. Boy, did Queen City make this a game when it appeared like it wasn't going to be one.
Well, and there was a little hitch in his giddy up too, trying to get out there to turn that corner. It just took him so long to get upfield. You know, considering the routes that were available to Caswell, that's where he had to go with it, and that's tough for Queen City. They came so close, 25 yards away from pulling off a big upset, but instead Mexico City and Atlanta are cheering. Queen City can't lock up the number 2 spot in the East, and now it's Queen City 6-5, Mexico City 6-5, Atlanta 5-5, bunched up in the Eastern Conference. The Swarm with a date with the undefeated Pride tomorrow, as the East is still very much up for grabs, at least the 2nd spot. That is the final score, and the Alaska Storm are your Western Conference regular season champions.
Wow. Congratulations to the Alaska Storm. Fully deserved it. You played well all season. I think tonight they showcased all the things that they can do, especially offensively, and how difficult it is to defend them, especially when Ron Cochran is on his game. And, he was really on fire that first half, really set them up for success tonight. Started to falter in the second half, but those players around him and this Storm defense did enough for them to pull out the victory.
So Alaska is 9-2. They take on Vancouver next week, who's very much on the outside looking into the playoff race. Alaska cannot settle. Sioux Falls is 8-2, Tulsa is 8-3, and Alaska still has a shot to dethrone Tallahassee from the number 1 spot if the Pride fall to Atlanta tomorrow night. So a lot to play for. There's no one that can sit and rest in the SFL, and we're almost to the end of the season.
Well, that's what makes that's what's great about this league. We have so many interesting storylines all the way throughout the end of the season, so it makes it worth watching, and everyone feels a part and involved and has something in the pot to play for. Those are always the best seasons. Looks like we've got another one here.
Playoffs start in 10 days.
Wow.
Couple of games tomorrow night that mean a lot. Tallahassee, Atlanta, Indy, and Sioux Falls tomorrow night on a Twitch doubleheader. Those times will be confirmed by the end of the night. For now, Vancouver, San Francisco, St. Louis, OKC, all at 4-7. Wait, hoping that Indy and Atlanta falter. Otherwise, we've got our top 10. If Indy and Atlanta trip up against Sioux Falls or Tallahassee, then everything is wide open in Week 12.
Well, tell the roommate, tell the best friend, tell the wife, tell the girlfriend, whoever you need to tell them that you're going to swing by and grab you something to eat after work, because you're going to enjoy 4 to 5 hours of SFL football on Monday night. Just go ahead and lock yourself away, because those are some prime time matchups.
Alvin Washington will be on the call of the Atlanta Swarm and Tallahassee Pride. Nice. Chris Curtis and Jimmy Stevens will be on the call for the Indianapolis Red Devils and the Sioux Falls Sparrows. Optimus Klein, player of the game, but honestly, it was Yassine Clifton for me. He was the hero. I mean, he was great.
Yeah, but Klein, with that touchdown total, more than he had all season, and they needed every bit of it.
Let's take a look at Clifton's career numbers. We got to give it to him here. Let's see what we got. We take a peek into the back end. 10 catches for 152 yards for Yassine Clifton. What a night. Him and Optimus almost identical, except for the touchdowns, of course. What a game for the Storm. What a game for everybody. 37-31.
Clifton caught every pass that was thrown to him.
Yep, he sure did.
What a game. For
Stephen Mullinex, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music from SFL HQ in DFW, Texas, and from our crew at the Eye in Anchorage, Alaska. It's been late. It's been fun. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Dilly dilly, cheddar biscuit.